We're standing in the primary bathroom of the Sunset Project, and this is a great opportunity for us to share with you this really special high-performance wall that we've developed for this home. This is based on a building science concept called the perfect wall. And why it's a perfect wall is because of where it places the air control layer. Let's say more about this. We're standing in front of the interior plane of an exterior wall. You're noticing insulation here. This insulation is cellulose insulation. We have 2x6 framing with cellulose insulation in the cavities. On the outside of this framing, we have a sheathing which is becoming both our weather-resistant barrier and our air control barrier. Why that's important is it gets the air control barrier, which is really key in terms of containing our energy in the home, out of harm's way. It's right in the middle of the wall. And then outside of that, we have 1.5 inches of polyiso insulation and then 2 inches of XPS insulation outside of that. And then we have a drainage plane, and then we have our siding. So this wall has an R value aggregate of R41 compared to a standard wall, which is R20. The other thing that's neat about this is if you notice the framing for the wall studs is opened up larger than what would be in a conventional home. Typically, we'd be framing at 16 inches on center. When we go to 2x6 depth, we can open this up to a 24-inch on center framing. That allows us to take roughly 30% of the lumber out of the house and in its place put more insulation. This framing is something that's been developed by the Department of Energy back in the 70s called advanced framing techniques. Coming up to the top of the wall, you have a great opportunity to also see this continuity of the thermal barrier. We have the high-density spray foam up on the lid, on the underside of the roof sheathing, and it's dropping down in that space between the top of the roof and the top of the wall, and that's a space that we call the heel. This is a high-performance wall.